It was 1997 when Royal Enfield launched their first cruiser. Back then, Royal Enfield was not known for its development and testing, so platform sharing also meant sharing the same flaws: bad chassis, underperforming engines, poor brakes, and so on. Now times are changing, and so is Royal Enfield.
Welcome back and welcome to the brand new Super Meteor 650. Royal Enfield has made cruisers before, sort of, but this is the first time they have done it properly. This motorcycle is completely new from the ground up. It has a brand new chassis, new suspension, new wheels, new tires. Almost everything on this motorcycle is new except for the 648cc parallel twin engine.
This 648cc parallel twin engine with a 270-degree firing interval is by far the best engine that Royal Enfield makes today. You get a healthy 46 horsepower and 52 Nm of torque. A new chassis has been developed keeping in mind the form and function of the new bike. The suspension is also new. This is the first Royal Enfield to get an upside down suspension. These are the Showa big piston forks. The new cruiser rides on a 16-inch rear and a 19-inch front. The seat height is an approachable 740 mm, and finally, this is the first Royal Enfield to get a full LED headlight.
Right now this is Royal Enfield's flagship motorcycle and the efforts to make it premium are clearly visible. Take for example this beautifully finished triple clamp and the best console that they have ever put on a motorcycle. The paint quality is very nice and the improvements to the fit and finish are very noticeable.
This time Royal Enfield has made a very conscious effort to ensure that their premium motorcycle actually looks and feels premium. This is the best fit and finish I have seen from them. Most of the parts have a good quality feel and the attention to detail is evident. The switchgear is made of aluminium, but it can do with a better finishing. Let's just circle back to the new console for a moment. It looks beautiful in the dark. It is clean, contemporary and informative, but there is no tachometer or even a digital rev counter. And what is the point of an eco mode indicator on a 650cc cruiser? My first impression of the new motorcycle was not exactly good. I was uncomfortable during my first ride because the ergonomics did not feel right. The rider triangle of seat, foot pegs and the handlebar took a little time getting used to, but after another short ride, I had started feeling better. The next thing is the weight. The Super Meteor 650 is about 40 kgs heavier than the Interceptor or the GT 650, and this is very noticeable in certain situations, like when you are pushing the bike or taking a U-turn. But while on the move, the weight really bothers. Despite the top heavy feeling, the bike still feels light and manageable. Even at slow pace, the handling is easy and the bike is actually playful. The steering is fairly light and precise, and only in extremely tight situations the long wheelbase makes itself noticeable. Out on the highway, the 1500 mm long wheelbase makes a lot of sense. Combined with a good chassis, it gives this motorcycle the poise and the stability to take you on long rides with ease. The Super Meteor 650 is very stable, like a cruiser should be. It took time for Royal Enfield to realize the importance of chassis development, but better late than never. Take this motorcycle on some winding roads and it might surprise you. Super Meteor goes around the corner with confidence that beats the Interceptor and the GT, mainly because their suspension is too soft. It is happy to lean and holds the line as if it is on rails. The bike is well balanced and doesn't feel cumbersome moving from one corner to the next. And of course, the tires contribute a lot as well. This has a set of fantastic tires from C8. At no point during the whole review was I ever worried about the grip, irrespective of the road surface. The brakes are better too, especially with the bigger 300mm disc at the rear, which provides excellent feedback. But wherever you ride, this 650cc engine never disappoints. It has a linear power delivery, a relaxed but strong character. This engine is an excellent choice for this kind of motorcycle. So far all seems very good, but there are a few problems. You may have heard everyone talking about how hard the suspension is, and while it is true that the suspension is hard, especially if you are jumping from an Interceptor or a GT onto the Super Meteor, it is still half the story. First of all, the suspension is not a deal breaker for most of us, and for those who have a sensitive backbone, this is probably not the bike for you right now. But there is a huge upside to this suspension setup, and that's the handling. Super Meteor handles very well. It is flexible and very confident in corners. It carries its weight very well and doesn't feel too cumbersome to chuck around in the twisties. But yes, the comfort is definitely compromised and you can feel every little bump. Royal Enfield should rework the suspension and make it more balanced, but not too soft like it is on the Interceptor or the GT. My main complaint though is not with the suspension, it is the seat height, which is not exactly low. At 740mm, it is somewhere between the Interceptor and where a cruiser should be. For reference, the Kawasaki Vulcan 650 has a seat height of 695mm and the big BMW R18 sits at 700mm. Super Meteor 650 is definitely Royal Enfield's most premium motorcycle till date and their best fit and finish effort. But it's not their best motorcycle just yet, unless Royal Enfield can fix these issues. Along with the suspension, the seat height is another issue that should be looked at in future updates, and they should also consider optional mid-foot controls. This will definitely fix the comfort issue because otherwise this 650cc platform is pretty solid. The Interceptor and the Continental GT650 have disrupted the global retro market with their success, simply because they are genuinely good and offer exceptional value for money. And the Super Meteor 650 has the same potential for the entry-level cruiser market. The reason why Royal Enfield is now making fundamentally better motorcycles than what they were making 10 years ago is their newfound focus on development and testing, a new R&D center in the UK, and the recent acquisition of famous UK-based chassis maker Harris Performance definitely helps.